long. And with our Easy Trade, you'll get up to 125% of KBB value.
It's easy at Shehe.com.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. The storm slamming the Northeast now, blinding rain and wind. Deadly in Michigan after whiteout conditions and a record blizzard paralyzes travel. And tonight, millions now under flood and wind alerts from Philadelphia to New York City to Boston. The major news tonight from General Motors, cutting jobs in Ohio, Michigan, Maryland. Thousands of workers and at least 3 GM cars will no longer be made. President Trump tonight on the tear gas used at the border, what he now says about using it. The deadly police shooting and growing outrage, the young black man killed by officers, police mistaking him for the gunman. The real suspect tonight still on the loose. The bombshell report on climate change from 13 U.S. agencies put out the day after Thanksgiving. Its warning about farming in the Midwest, future floods and fires in the U.S. And tonight the president is asked, does he believe it? Cyber Monday still underway as we come on. The big deal still to come. The list of what we found tonight. Oprah's loss, her mother passing away on Thanksgiving, and what Oprah said late today about her mom. And touchdown on Mars, the anxious scientists at NASA, and then the cheers. And tonight, the first image coming in now from Mars. And you'll see it right here.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it is great to be back with you after the Thanksgiving holiday, but it's turned into a real travel nightmare for millions trying to get home. The same system now slamming the Northeast tonight, and it's been deadly. First, the major blizzard across the plains and the Great Lakes, a bus spinning out. That's I-35 there in Osceola, Iowa. Traffic at a standstill in near whiteout conditions. Hundreds of flights canceled again tonight out of Chicago's O'Hare Airport. The ripple effect across the country. And right now, more than 30 million Americans are now under flooding and wind alerts, cars underwater. That's downtown Philadelphia. Flood and wind worries as far north as Boston tonight. This is the storm as it blasted its way across the country. There are major delays at all of the New York area airports tonight. And ABC's Gio Benitez leads us off from LaGuardia.
Tonight, that powerful storm stranding holiday travelers on frozen roads and at packed airports, now drenching the busy I-95 corridor from Philadelphia to New Jersey to New York City.
You're talking about rainfall rates over an inch an hour here.
Blizzard conditions grinding travel to a halt across the Midwest on the busiest travel day of the year. At Chicago's O'Hare Airport, more than 2,000 flights canceled since Sunday. Our Alex Perez found Danny Kutlamanis still trying to get home to Colorado this morning.
I've been bumped twice. I can't even rent a car.
We are literally driving and cannot see anything.
Blizzard conditions closing most of Interstate 70 in Kansas. Some drivers abandoning their cars. Drivers stuck on Route 75 in Nebraska, too. And on Interstate 80, high winds ripping the top off this 18-wheeler. There was record snow in Rockford, Illinois, where multiple vehicles, including a snowplow, caught fire. And adding to the misery, passengers on this Amtrak train from New York to Boston, normally a 4-hour trip, were stranded for 11 hours after the train lost power.
I can't believe we finally made it. I mean, it's not as bad as being stuck on a plane, but I'm just glad to be back.
What a mess tonight. Gio Benitez joins us live from LaGuardia. And Gio, those delays and cancellations are starting to pile up.
They really are, David. Taking a look at these boards right here, we are now seeing so many flights either canceled or delayed. We're looking right now across this country at more than 5,000 delays, 1,500 cancellations.
All right,
David.
Gio Benitez leading us off tonight. This system is still hitting now, so let's get the track tonight. Meteorologist Rob Marciano live along the West Side Highway tonight. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. This has been a powerfully stacked storm from top to bottom in the atmosphere. Now we have a secondary low kicking in along the coastline. Check it out on the satellite picture. Shows you how expansive this system is. Now we have flood alerts that range from Maryland and New Jersey along the New England coastline, where winds could easily gust over 50 miles an hour tonight. And there's a lot of rain on the warm side with this. Eastern Massachusetts seeing its wettest fall on record. More rain coming tonight. That should clear by about 7 a.m., but notice in Albany it turns to snow north of I-90, significant snowfall, and then lake effect snow behind this. A lot of cold air, another epic November storm, David, and winter hasn't even started yet.
Oh, unfortunate reminder. Rob Marciano, our thanks to you as well. We move on to other news this Monday night, and the news today couldn't have come at a worse time. Just weeks now until Christmas, and General Motors has now revealed it will lay off workers in Ohio, Michigan, and Maryland. Thousands of jobs and at least 3 vehicles will no longer be made. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is in Detroit tonight.
Tonight, major cuts at car giant GM. Nearly 15,000 jobs eliminated, a whopping 15% of the company's workforce. In all, 5 plants slated to shut down by the end of next year, including those in Warren, Michigan, White Marsh, Maryland, Warren, Ohio, and Detroit.
We're going to come back hard, and we're going to try to convince them that a modern plant in an area where you can get a good workforce is an asset.
GM citing a shift to focus more on automation and high SUV sales. The company announcing they're eliminating the low-selling Chevrolet Cruze, Volt, and Impala cars from their roster. Today, the president not hiding his frustration with CEO Mary Barra.
I express the fact that I am not happy with what she did. That car is not selling. It's a Cruze, Chevy Cruze. It's not selling, but hopefully she's going to come back and she's going to put something. But I told her I'm not happy about it.
The president also asked if increased tariffs due to a trade war are to blame.
No, not tariffs. That had nothing to do with tariffs. She said the car was not selling.
GM acknowledges the tariffs aren't to blame for the cuts, but in June issued a stark warning that, quote, increased import tariffs could lead to a smaller GM. And tonight say the trade policy has cost them $1.4 billion.
So let's get to Eva. She's live in Detroit tonight. And Eva, while nearly 15,000 jobs are being cut, as you reported there, some of those workers will be given the chance to try to relocate to other plants.
That's right, David. GM says it plans to expand operations in those well-performing areas. About 3,000 of those workers will be up for those new positions. David?
Eva Pilgrim with us tonight. Thank you, Eva. The images of the tear gas used at the U.S.-Mexico border seen across the country and the world. Thousands of migrants from that caravan have now arrived in Tijuana. Some of them breaking through Mexican security, U.S. Border Patrol, then firing tear gas at them. This mother and her children among those caught in the chaos. Tonight, President Trump was asked about the tear gas, and here's ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman from Tijuana.
Tonight, more than 100 migrants deported following those violent clashes in the border town of Tijuana. A peaceful protest turning chaotic when hundreds of Central American migrants first clashed with Mexican police, then rushed the border fence. They were met by a wall of tear gas unleashed by heavily armed U.S. agents behind those coils of concertina wire. Some of those migrants throwing the canisters right back. The thick smoke sending mothers with children in diapers into a panic. Today, the president denied that agents used tear gas against children.
Are you comfortable tear gassing children like what we saw?
They're not, as you know, they're not. They had to use because they were being rushed by some very tough people.
We met 16-year-old Henry covered in those bandages.
Now, one of the things that he says is that he's not going to stop. He wants to still get into the United States, and he's not going to quit now just because he was wounded.
The clashes forced authorities to close the San Ysidro port of entry, one of the busiest on the planet, for nearly 7 hours. Thousands of people, most there legally, stranded at the border.
All right, Matt Gutman with us live tonight from Tijuana. And Matt, the Department of Defense just announcing that they're moving more troops to California, to the border there, to offer support.
That's right, 300 additional troops to California, bringing the total there to 1,800. Now, there is a concern of a prolonged standoff here. The migrant caravan is expected to swell to over 9,000, and it could take months, David, just to process all those asylum requests.
All right, Matt Gutman, thank you. We're going to turn next tonight to the growing outrage. A young black man was shot and killed. Police apparently confused him with the suspect. That suspect is still at large tonight. And here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
E.J. Bradford's family tonight says that he was that so-called good guy with a gun at a shooting inside this Alabama mall on Thanksgiving Day. But because he's black, they say he was shot and killed by responding police. This is a picture of the 21-year-old in uniform. He briefly served in the Army.
And the officer that shot him, you ain't give my child no warning, basically. You just up and shoot, assuming, because you still gun.
Alabama police tonight say they're sympathetic to Mr. Bradford's grieving family, but stop short of saying they're sorry.
Everybody out!
They admit that the real gunman who shot 2 people and sent shoppers scrambling is still at large. Bradford's family believes he was trying to help save lives and say his gun was legal.
It feels like someone has ripped my heart out.
Late this evening, the mayor came out and called for patience. The family of the victim is asking for police to release all of their body camera videos. There is a protest scheduled here tonight. David?
Steve Osunsami. Thank you, Steve. There is still a major Senate race to be decided now 3 weeks after the midterms. Voters in Mississippi will head to the polls tomorrow, and tonight the president is there putting his support behind Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith, who has been under fire. And tonight, more of that video now surfacing, during which she says if she was invited to a public hanging, quote, I would be in the front row. ABC's chief national affairs correspondent Tom Yamas is there tonight.
Nooses found hanging today outside the Mississippi State Capitol, along with these signs. One reading, we're hanging nooses to remind people that times haven't changed. It comes as the Republican candidate here, Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, is facing criticism for appearing to embrace the state's racist past. She's seen in this Facebook photo from 2014, posing in a Confederate cap. Her caption, Mississippi history at its best. And earlier this month, joking with a supporter about public hangings.
He invited me to a public hanging and me on the front row.
The president, campaigning with Hyde-Smith today, addressed her comments on his way to Mississippi.
She felt very badly. She certainly didn't mean that. And as I understand it, she's already apologized, and very strongly.
Initially, Hyde-Smith dismissing backlash as ridiculous.
I put out a statement yesterday, and that's all I'm going to say about it. We stand by the statement.
Later, apologizing in a debate against her opponent, Mike Espy, the Democrat vying to become the state's first black senator since Reconstruction.
For anyone that was offended by my comments, I certainly apologize.
I don't know what's in your heart, but we all know what came out of your mouth.
The president hoping to tip the scales in her favor in a state where he won by 18 points in 2016.
Don't take any chances. A lot of people think we're going to have a big win. Don't take any chances. That's happened many times before.
And we'll be watching the race tonight. Tom Yamas reporting in from Mississippi. There was a bombshell report on climate change from 13 U.S. agencies put out the day after Thanksgiving, when millions of Americans were still marking the holiday. But in that report, it warns about farming in the Midwest and future floods and fires in the U.S. And tonight, our John Carl asking the president, does he believe it?
President Trump today dismissed the report written by scientists from 13 federal agencies and released by his administration the day after Thanksgiving. It's a report that warns climate change is already taking a toll. Record wildfires in California, stronger hurricanes, crop failures in the Midwest. The report bluntly warns of more to come, including threats to air quality and the transmission of disease, and says if steps aren't taken to limit the release of carbon into the atmosphere, the economic consequences will be devastating. A 10% loss to the economy, worse than the Great Recession. Today, we asked the president about it.
Mr. President, have you read the climate report yet?
I've seen it. I've read some of it, and it's fine.
But they say economic impact could be devastating.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
No, I don't believe it. Right now, we're at the cleanest we've ever been, and that's very important to me. But if we're clean, but every other place on earth is dirty, that's not so good.
Jonathan Karl live at the White House tonight. John, you know many are questioning the timing of the release of this report the day after Thanksgiving. Was it meant to bury it?
It sure looked that way, releasing the report right in the middle of Black Friday. But if that was the intent, David, it looks like it backfired. Because it was released on such a slow news day, the report dominated news coverage throughout the holiday weekend. David?
John Karl, thank you. Overseas tonight, a dangerous escalation between Russia and Ukraine. The Ukrainians say Russia blocked a key waterway, rammed a Ukrainian tugboat seen in this video, then opened fire, seizing several of Ukraine's ships and arresting its sailors. Late today, Ukraine's parliament voted to impose martial law in areas bordering Russia now. To the Mueller investigation, and former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos, he's spending his first night in jail. He surrendered at the federal prison in Oxford, Wisconsin this morning to serve a 14-day sentence after pleading guilty to lying about his contact with Russians during the campaign. And tonight, another subject of the special counsel investigation says he's now rejected a plea deal. Jerome Corsi, a conservative writer and associate of former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone, says prosecutors wanted him to plead guilty to lying to FBI agents when he was questioned about communications related to WikiLeaks' Julian Assange in 2016. Corsi says he did briefly forget about an email exchange with Roger Stone, but says he did not intentionally lie, and to confess to that, he says, would be the crime. He spoke to our Pierre Thomas just a short time ago.
If I have to go to jail for the rest of my life,
I will not